Ukraine's President Zelensky has just signed their virtual assets bill into law, officially legalizing crypto.
Bitcoin grew so much faster last year, crypto grew, than the internet did at its best years in the 90s. And so I see this going viral everywhere.
Yes, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily, where you subscribe for one video per day demystifying this cryptocurrency market. My name's Austin. In today's video, I want to share with you breaking news involving Ukraine, some very interesting crypto perspective from tech investor Mike Novogratz, as well as the latest altcoin news and much more. So like always, check the timestamps down below in the video description, hit the like button right now, and let's jump in, starting with Ukraine. Ukraine's President Zelensky has just signed their virtual assets bill into law, officially legalizing crypto. And why not? Ukraine has already received over $100 million in crypto donations during its war with Russia. So what does this new crypto legalization officially entail? The law determines the legal status, clarification, ownership, and regulators of virtual assets, as well as setting registration requirements for crypto service providers. So basically, it just clarifies the language. People were already using crypto before this law, hence the donations, but this just adds clarity. The market will be regulated by Ukraine's National Commission on Securities and the stock market, and exchanges will now be able to operate legally, as well as banks now being able to open accounts for them, the digital ministry said in a tweet. Now, just for some perspective, Ukraine was always in the conversation to legalize crypto even before this war with Russia. In fact, you may remember that Zelensky, their president, rejected an earlier version of this bill way back in September of 2021. And now several months later, this bill was officially passed through Parliament on February 17th. So, this is big. This is an historic day for Ukraine, the country obviously, as well as pretty historic for all crypto hodlers because the dominoes continue to fall at a nation-state level. So next up, what does that mean for Bitcoin? Listen to Mike Novogratz explain why Bitcoin isn't shooting up immediately, as well as his 1-year and 5-year projections. This is about a 2-minute clip. Watch this.
McGlone was bringing up correlations here, and a lot of the haters will bring up how positively Bitcoin is correlated with stocks as a way to say, hey, that's not a haven, that's not an inflation hedge. How do you answer to that?
I think bald Mikes think alike to start with. Listen, Bitcoin went up a lot last year on this story of the Fed printing money forever. That's what pushed all risk assets up, right? We had this unbelievable amount of liquidity. And it came off because the Fed, Chairman Powell finally said, hey, I got to take this more seriously than I've been taking it, and I'm going to get hawkish. We're starting to see a little bit of a breakdown. I don't think Bitcoin can rally aggressively until we get a pause. And I would tell you that because Bitcoin's a narrative story. It's bringing people into a community. There are 150 million people into that community. Most are staying in it. Right? That's the 8th biggest country in the world. It's bigger than Russia. So Bitcoin holders are a bigger country if you think it's sovereignty than Russia. But to bring new people in, it's hard when their house is on fire. And right now, if you talk to any investor, Chinese stocks are cratering, tech stocks are cratering. Their mindset isn't like, let me see where I can find more risk. And so we're going to hit a pause. The war will end. Let's pray to God. The Fed will go and we'll start saying, hey, we've priced in the Fed. And once markets hit some equilibrium, I think you're going to see the narrative really take off.
So where would you set a target for year end this year and 5 years out?
Great question. Listen, I think, like the other bald Mike, the NASDAQ has further to go to the downside this year. I think literally the Fed hasn't even started hiking rates. They haven't started pulling liquidity from the system. And so I've the whole year thought we'd be a 30,000, 50,000 range in Bitcoin. Risk to the upside, not the downside. But I think, 5 years out, if Bitcoin's not at 500,000, I'm wrong on the adoption cycle, right? We see an adoption cycle that accelerates. Bitcoin grew so much faster last year, crypto grew, than the internet did at its best years in the 90s. And so I see this going viral everywhere. If it's in the Mideast or in pension funds in the United States, all getting ready to participate.
All right. Very interesting perspective from Mike Novogratz. Do you agree or do you disagree with Mike? Let's all check the comments, see what you think down below. But it has begun. As of this morning, the Federal Reserve, like they said, officially approves first interest rate hike in more than 3 years, see 6 more ahead. So specifically, the Fed has just increased rates by 0.25% increase, and think of rate hikes as gravity coming back to the markets. This is to incentivize liquidity out of the system to hopefully combat inflation. At least that's the goal, and this is the first of presumably many. We will see. But hey, what about altcoins? During this time of quote-unquote uncertainty in the markets, which altcoin projects are actually making news? DeFi platform Aave has officially launched version 3 with cross-chain swaps front and center. So here are the details. According to Aave founder Stanley Kay, V3 will feature a range of new functionalities and mechanisms designed to improve user experience, risk management, and capital efficiency. Specifically, the 2 biggest optimizations are headlining the new features are cross-chain portals, as well as isolated markets that will allow the protocol to better compete with permissionless counterparts, and a high-efficiency mode enabling high loan-to-value borrowing on select assets. If that still doesn't make sense, as an Aave holder, just know these are basic optimizations. This is a good thing. And when they say portals, portals is a feature that allows cross-chain bridges to mint and burn A tokens, meaning tokens representing deposits into Aave, A tokens, meaning that you could deposit in the Ethereum mainnet, but borrow from Polygon and repay on Avalanche all under the hood, says their CEO. So the Aave ecosystem just got a major boost. Very, very good for the ecosystem. Next up, what about Polkadot? What about parachains? Engine has now officially launched their Polkadot parachain for NFTs and gaming. This just happened. This is called the Affinity parachain. And what makes this historic is this is the first parachain on the Polkadot network dedicated to non-fungible tokens. Affinity's ecosystem is set to be home to over 100 blockchain-based games and applications, the first of which is Crypto Blades, a play-to-earn NFT game with already over 1 million users. It's currently on 5 different smart contract blockchains, with Affinity set to become its 6th. So if you like Affinity, you like this, but let's keep moving. Next up, let's talk about the sandbox. But first up, I do want to take just 60 seconds and give a big shout out to sponsor of the channel, the BlockFi Rewards Visa Signature Credit Card. And what is this? Well, with this card, you can earn an unlimited 1.5% back in Bitcoin on every single purchase. With this card, there is no annual fee, there are no foreign transaction fees, and you can see if you're pre-approved with no impact to your credit. There's a link down below. That's blockfi.com/altcoindailycc. Link down below. And if you sign up right now, today, you can earn up to 3.5% back during your first 3 months on every single purchase. And this means no matter how high gas prices get, or no matter how high food prices get, or anything, because you have to buy those things anyway, that just means you're accumulating more Bitcoin when you make those daily purchases. So if you're in the US, why not? I encourage you to check it out. Link down below. Next up, huge news for Sandbox. HSBC to become the first global financial services provider to enter the Sandbox. So this banking giant says yes to the metaverse. HSBC today announced a new partnership that will open up a host of opportunities for virtual communities all around the world to engage with global financial services providers and sports communities in the Sandbox metaverse. Interesting. So yeah, that's what we all want to do. Obviously, go to the metaverse and engage with banking, but now we can. And this groundbreaking partnership between the Sandbox and HSBC will see the global financial services provider acquire a plot of land, meaning virtual real estate in the Sandbox metaverse, which will be developed to engage and connect with sports, esports, and gaming enthusiasts. And let's be real here, this is a great get for the Sandbox, because HSBC, which has a ton of clientele, didn't choose Decentraland, they didn't choose the Realm metaverse, they chose Sandbox. In a direct quote from HSBC on this partnership, At HSBC, we see great potential to create new experiences through emerging platforms, opening up a world of opportunity for our current and future customers and for the communities we serve. Through our partnership with the Sandbox, we are making our foray into the metaverse, allowing us to create innovative brand experiences for new and existing customers. So huge sign of support for Sandbox. All right, that is the video. My name's Austin. Like always, see you tomorrow. And be sure to use code AltcoinDaily for 10% off your ticket for Bitcoin 2022 in Miami from April 6th through 9th, the biggest Bitcoin conference of the year. Can't wait to see you there, hang out with you there, and feel free to use our code to get your ticket. See you tomorrow.